covering news that matters. Fox 23 News at 6 starts right now.
Oklahoma, where today the wind came sweeping down the plain. It's still windy out there, and things are going to turn a bit chilly tonight. Thanks for joining us. I'm Nathan Thompson.
And I'm Shay Rozzi. It warmed up, though, today, but cooler temps are back on their way and will be here shortly. Certified meteorologist Mike Grogan is in the Burgraff Fox 23 Severe Weather Center for James tonight with a look at the timing of it all and when we can turn off the AC and open the windows instead.
Yeah, you could probably do so readily by later tonight or tomorrow, especially. Today's high in Tulsa, 85 degrees, 6 degrees shy of a record and well above the average. But by morning, here's the change. Back to the fall-like readings, a crisp and cool 48 degrees to start off that Tuesday, much closer to average. Highs across our region, we're all in the 80s, as warm as 87 in Okmulgee, 86 in Bristow, lower 80s extended into southeast Kansas and far northeast Oklahoma, all well above average. This afternoon, early evening, no, skies are clear over Tulsa. Temperatures starting to drop off now that we are behind the front, down to 79 at the airport, 80 degrees in downtown, still 81 in Jinx, 83 in Owasso. Into the rest of the evening we go with temperatures still mild through about 8, 9 o'clock. Then you might need the jacket there to follow, especially by morning when we see that 48-degree temperature. It is going to be a dry day ahead of us, but once we get to enjoying these fall temperatures, we'll turn our attention to the rain that is awaiting us starting Thursday and heading clear into the weekend. We'll walk you through the timeline and rain amounts expected, all coming up in the 10-day forecast.
New at 6, the U.S. Supreme Court will hear a case about if marijuana users can also be gun owners and carry a firearm. The court announced today it will hear a case out of Texas where a man found with marijuana also got an extra charge of illegal possession of a firearm simply because he had a gun on him when he was found with pot. The Trump administration is arguing the man should face additional charges, saying drug and gun use together is dangerous and federal law prohibits possession of marijuana regardless of state law. But the Texas man's attorneys say multiple states have legalized marijuana use, and people using the drug legally have a Second Amendment right to own and carry a gun. More details for you. Oklahoma state law is currently in conflict with federal law on this issue. The state of Oklahoma considers marijuana legal for licensed patients. State law says having a medical marijuana card should not prevent someone from being able to own and carry a firearm. But according to federal law, when you apply for a gun, you're asked if you use marijuana. A yes would lead to a denial of your application through the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms. Lying about marijuana use by saying no on a form could lead to criminal charges. But because of how state law is written, it's up to federal law enforcement to pursue those charges. Now to our continuing coverage of the Cassidy Ritchie case. Today, her husband, Chris Moreland, was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole for beating her to death in January of 2024.
Fox 23's Devin Lyon was in court as the sentence was handed down and talked to Ritchie's family. Devin, they're trying to find some peace and closure.
There were well over a dozen people there from Cassidy's family, and several of them read victim impact statements as part of the closing arguments against Chris Moreland. Now they're just hoping her story can help save someone else.
I just feel we did everything we could possibly do. We've done everything we could possibly do, and we got exactly what we wanted.
The family of a murder victim is hoping they can finally begin healing after the convicted murderer was sentenced.
But we still have to live on with our lives. She'll never come back, and now we gotta live through her and live for her, and just continue to live, be the people that she wants us to be.
Police found the body of Cassidy Ritchie in her vehicle in January of 2024 and arrested her husband at the time, Chris Moreland. But it wasn't until Monday that a judge sentenced Moreland to life without the possibility of parole after he was found guilty for her murder.
He's a demon, and he deserves to rot in prison for the rest of his life, and I hope everything we said today was an impact inside of him that he has to live with, and he has to feel that pain. I hope he feels that pain every day, every day.
Cassidy's family appeared in court holding pictures and wearing shirts with her face and domestic violence awareness ribbons.
This picture was actually taken on National Siblings Day, so this was just me and her, just being me and her. Like I said, and anything to provide. I know all our shirts have Cassidy's beautiful picture on it, and he was going to see that, but why not let another picture, sink into your brain and let you live with that for the rest of your life in prison?
6 of them, including her 3 kids, brother, and mother, all spoke as part of the state's closing argument against Moreland. Her son told the judge, quote, "When she died, a part of me died with her." Then her mother read aloud, quote, "My daughter is still dead, gone forever. She's gone, just gone. Her life was taken from her. My life and everyone's life will never be the same."
And it's like the district attorney himself said, she was more than what happened to her.
That's when Chris Moreland's attorney did not enter a final argument. Instead, the attorney directly apologized to the family and told the judge, quote, "Sentence him how the court finds necessary." Cassidy's family is wanting it to be who she was, not what happened to her, that's remembered.
You know, you can meet her 10 minutes and fall in love with her. And just, like I said, she has that certain charisma about her that's just special and makes you feel special. And you carry that with the rest of your life. So that's how she was. And she'll always be remembered that as the beautiful, special sister, mother, aunt, just the person she was.
Neither the defense or prosecution felt the need to go on camera after the family spoke today. Cassidy Ritchie's family is hoping her story can inspire domestic violence victims and their families to seek help before it's too late. Live in studio covering news that matters, Devin Lyon, Fox 23 News.
Devin, thanks. And if you or someone you know needs help, there's a national domestic violence hotline available. The number is on your screen, 1-800-799-7233. You can also remember it as 1-800-799-SAFE. Now, if you are experiencing a medical emergency, call 911.
New at 6, Governor Kevin Stitt is getting involved in a lawsuit over pollution in the Illinois River that's been going on for 20 years. The state of Oklahoma sued Tyson Chicken, saying runoff from its chicken farm operations polluted the Illinois River. The case started in 2005, and a proposed final judgment was made in 2023. The judge found poultry processors responsible for the pollution of the Illinois River that left so much phosphorus in the water. The water was clouded and fish populations were dying. Governor Stitt cites Attorney General Gettner Drummond's settlement proposal as harming farmers and ranchers and is asking the court to step in and find a solution that benefits business and protects the environment.
Happening tomorrow, for the first time since 2018, members of the legendary Irish rock band U2 will be here in Tulsa, but not for a performance. Bono and The Edge will be at the Woody Guthrie Center as honorees of the 2025 Woody Guthrie Prize. The band will be presented the award at Kane's Ballroom tomorrow. Now, this is huge for Tulsa to have them come here. Bono and The Edge will accept the prize on behalf of the band, which makes it the first time they've been in Tulsa again since 2018, when they did perform at the BOK Center. The Woody Guthrie Prize is awarded annually to a recipient who embodies the spirit of Woody Guthrie's social consciousness and musical legacy. In a developing story, a Tulsa man is looking for help from the community after recently buying a house to serve as a sober living home, and it caught fire last night.
The house just opened last week. 12 men lived there, and now they're all trying to pick up the pieces. Fox 23's Jade Morrow is live in the newsroom. Jade, you found out how the fire is affecting the owner and the men he's trying to help.
Well, Nathan, this is affecting the owner and residents in many ways, because not only do they all have to start over, but the owner tells me that some of the residents have relapsed after getting the help that they needed. Last night at around 7 p.m., Randy Grimes, the owner and operator of Recovery Solutions, was flooded with text and missed phone calls saying the sober living house was on fire. The house has structural damage, and Grimes says everything from bedding, clothing, and important documentation was lost in the fire. Grimes says he saved money while working at Grand Mental Health, so he could give his full time and attention to those who reached out to him for help. But it was all taken away Sunday night. They're trying to figure out how to move forward, but it would mean everything for the community to help him give these men a second chance.
It just means the world to me, because I'm not in this for money. I gave these guys a whole month free here already to come in and get their lives together. It would mean the world to me to get these guys back into a home where we could set structured groups. We have in-house therapists, in-house case managers, in-house PRSSs. Anywhere that they need to go, they have it right here. This house isn't just, like I said, just a house to come and get sober. This is a house where we build you and make you. We help you get your IDs, your birth certificates, everything that you need to sustain life. We're going to help you get that, not let you go out and do it yourself.
Grimes says he's working to get this group of men into hotels until they can find them a place to go. And if you'd like to help out in any way, there is a Cash App and a GoFundMe to donate to. We do have links in this story on our website at fox23.com. Live in the newsroom covering news that matters, I'm Jade Morrow, Fox 23 News.
We reached out to the Tulsa Fire Department to ask about the cause of this fire. Right now, they say all of that is still under investigation.
We have continuing coverage of the massive internet outage this morning linked to Amazon Web Services. Hundreds of online services and platforms are getting back up and running after a widespread outage early this morning. Services affected include Venmo, Snapchat, Facebook, Prime Video, and Amazon's cloud computing. That's according to downdetector.com. Some airlines, including Delta and United, reported disruptions for some of their systems. Amazon Web Services said today it had issues with its cloud service operations. It said the outage lasted 3 hours and included entertainment and gaming websites.
New at 6, the national average for a gallon of gas is heading toward its lowest point in nearly 4 years. AAA reports many states are sitting near an average of $3 a gallon, while prices here in Oklahoma are obviously much lower. The travel agency says several factors are behind the drop, including lower demand, falling crude oil prices, and a cheaper winter blend gas at the pump. Also, hurricane season has not impacted oil refineries or drilling along the Gulf. GasBuddy.com reports the average retail price for a gallon of gas sits at $2.39 in the Tulsa metro. Now, for wholesalers like Costco and Sam's Club, it's around 10 cents cheaper for members. New at 6, the FBI is combing through cell phone tower data and surveillance cameras to try to track down the person who built a treetop hunting stand overlooking the Florida airport where Air Force One often lands.
Caroline Shively reports the Secret Service found it and wants to know if someone had plans to use it as a sniper's nest to target the president, who has already faced 2 assassination attempts.
The Secret Service is investigating this hunting stand near Palm Beach International Airport, one with a direct line of sight to where President Trump exits Air Force One. Agents found the stand during a sweep on Thursday.
All of the forensic tools we have, from digital tools to biometric tools, they are all going to be applied to try to find out who put this up there and why.
This comes 1 month after Ryan Ruth was found guilty of trying to assassinate Trump from a sniper's nest in the bushes on his Palm Beach golf course. It's been 15 months since another would-be assassin shot Trump in the ear during a campaign rally in Butler, Pennsylvania.
No time for a BS here. Zero fail. You can't have a mistake here.
Threats against Congress are also on the rise. Capitol Hill police investigated nearly 10,000 threats against Congress last year, up from 2023. They estimate that number could top 14,000 this year. It's happening outside D.C. as well. Last week, a man pleaded guilty to trying to murder Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro by firebombing his home while he and his family slept inside.
It's important that in this time of rising political violence that none of us grow numb to it.
Law enforcement officials are already looking ahead to next year. Threat levels tend to spike in election years, and in 2026, the entire House and a third of the Senate will be up for election. In Washington, covering news that matters, Caroline Shively, Fox 23 News.
The Palm Beach Airport is the one President Trump most frequently uses because it is less than 5 miles away from his home at Mar-a-Lago. The motorcade takes less than 10 minutes to get from the airport to the estate.
Tulsa's oldest neon company offered tours of its facility today. Claude Neon Federal was founded in 1926, the same year Route 66 was established. The original Claude Neon is even older, starting in Paris back in 1904. The company created several iconic Tulsa business signs, like the Meadow Gold sign on historic Route 66. We talked to Claude Neon Federal President Scott Sanford about the history of the company and the importance of neon lights.
Our people still like neon. It still has a purpose. It was a utilitarian way to light up individual letters and type of signs. So it was just basically just for illumination. It's not for artwork, it's for advertising.
Claude Neon recently joined the Oklahoma Route 66 Association as it prepares for both of their 100-year anniversaries next year.
It is a critical part of overall health, but 1 in 3 U.S. adults do not regularly get the recommended amount of uninterrupted sleep each night. I'm one of the 3.
Me
That's
too.
according to the National Institutes of Health.
We're like 2 out of 3, right? Someone else in the group probably does. Mandy Gaither explains why the way we sleep could have something to do with it and why changing our sleeping positions could make a difference.
It's a basic human need. Sleep helps restore the body, and not getting enough good quality sleep can actually make you sick.
We tend to develop chronic diseases.
Sleep neurologist Dr. Nancy Foldberry with Cleveland Clinic says your position in bed may affect whether you get a good night's sleep, especially if you have certain medical conditions.
Probably 30% of men, 10% of women in their middle-aged years have sleep apnea, and the prevalence of that increases as we get older.
Foldberry recommends sleeping on your side if you have obstructive sleep apnea or other chronic conditions like heart failure or arthritis. And if you have acid reflux, she says sleep on the left side. Not sleeping on your back can help keep airways clear.
I'm sure we can all resonate with the story of the loud snorer on their back and the bed partner does the elbow to get that person to roll over onto their side.
If you have chronic nasal congestion or have a deviated septum, Foldberry says side sleep is also recommended. If one side of your nose is more stuffy than the other, she says to sleep on the side that allows the blocked nostril to be upright. Sleeping with your head slightly elevated can also help.
I've got many patients who sleep much better on their right side than their left side, and it's not clear why, but you're aiming to sleep in the position that is going to make you feel the most refreshed.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
Side sleep is not recommended if you have shoulder pain, but it is advised for other chronic pain like in the neck or knees, along with a good quality memory foam pillow. Dr. Foldberry also says sleeping with a thin pillow between your knees can help by allowing the body to stay symmetrical.
New at 6, the 48th annual TTCU Tulsa Run will happen this weekend, and there's a course change for the longest race. The Tulsa Run has mainly happened in October since 1978, and it has a 2K, a 5K, and a 15K, which is more than 9 miles. This year, the Tulsa Run signature 15K is being rerouted to be more in Tulsa's neighborhoods and less on big streets. We talked to runner and ambassador Frank Church. He says the new 15K route gets the run back to what it traditionally was.
As Tulsans, we train on the river daily. So to just jump out to the river, and it feels like a training run. I think this year going back to the neighborhoods will be a little bit back to the roots and just give us a little bit better views than just a regular training run.
Packet pickup for runners is Thursday and Friday. Races start at 7:30 Saturday morning. Now, if you're downtown or in Midtown, be aware of road closures and traffic changes.
In a developing story, recently discovered short stories from the famous author Harper Lee are going to be published. Lee is best known for her classic novel To Kill a Mockingbird, which was later turned into a film starring Gregory Peck. For a long time, the literary world thought that was Lee's only major offering, but shortly before her death in 2016, Go Set a Watchman was also published. Now Lee fans will have additional reading material. 8 of her short stories are being released this week in a collection called The Land of Sweet Forever. These writings were found in Lee's New York City apartment after her death. Lee's biographer says some of the stories contain elements of the ideas she wrote about in her most famous work.
Happening tomorrow, someone might win one of the largest Mega Million jackpots ever. The jackpot now sits at $650 million, the 10th highest amount in game history. The last time a top 10 Mega Millions drawing was reached was last December, when the prize eventually reached a massive $1.269 billion. Tomorrow's jackpot will be the 33rd drawing since the last big Mega Millions payout hit.
From the Burggraf Fox 23 Severe Weather Center, certified meteorologist Mike Grogan.
It was a wind-whipped Monday out there with powerful gusts topping out above 40 miles per hour. Here's a look at where those winds did occur. From anywhere Muskogee northward, we had numerous gusts that were topping about above that mark, and up to 48 miles per hour in Veneta, just not showing up here on the map. And it's all thanks to a cold front approaching, and then behind it, north winds are settling in, but thankfully not as strong as what we had in advance of it. To our north, we're getting a little rain up in the upper Midwest, but hardly any clouds associated with this passage over much of northeast Oklahoma. As we look back out along Highway 169, traffic becoming a little lighter with mostly clear skies. Temperatures now falling from our high of 85 degrees today, 79 now, with still a blustery northwest wind and low humidity, which will allow temperatures to readily drop from here. We're still in the low 80s. Once you look southeast of Tulsa, you can see they're actively dropping here on the map, though. 79 now in Claremore, 73 Bartlesville, 76 in Pawnee. And in a few hours' time, you might be reaching for the jacket if you're still out the door. Here's that trend line between 7 and 9 o'clock. We go from the mid-70s after sunset there at 7 o'clock to the upper to mid-60s from 8 to 9. Still very pleasant for those evening hours, but by morning, it's a crisp and cool start as we're down to the upper 40s to near 50 degrees as kids head to the bus stop. They'll enjoy sunshine and same coming home, but it will be quite a bit warmer by that point into the lower and mid 70s. So a good day to dress in layers as we have that nice temperature range, and it won't involve any rainfall for the day ahead. Temperatures are going to bounce back a little bit above average, more so on into your Wednesday, and then they drop a little bit towards the end of the week in response to cloud cover and rain. After that passes, another little warm spell into early next week before we start to trend back downwards again. It's kind of an up and down ride that is often common by this point in the fall. And so this cold front bringing about this initial cool down from our summer-like day today, and then back to the cooler air as we slide into the middle of the week. By the end of the week, another low pressure approaching from the west will draw in more moisture, and it's a slow mover. Therefore, we get multiple slow-moving rounds of rain and storms, a good soaking by Friday area-wide, it appears. And that slow-moving low pressure will have some wraparound showers on Saturday. That will be quite a bit lighter, but it might mean a bit of a wet Tulsa run for that morning and probably some cloud cover keeping things cooler. Altogether, though, rain amounts are looking very impressive. In fact, this is the latest data coming in, and it's showing an uptick in the rain intensity. Anywhere from 2 to 4 inches may be common across our region, so count on this helping our drought situation. Breaking it down by day, you can see the rain approaching Thursday. Our far eastern counties may hold off till Friday into Saturday when it is widespread, even beyond Friday's midnight hour into early Saturday morning. And that is good news for our drought situation as it is expanding across the region. Moderate drought for much of eastern Oklahoma, hopefully not going to worsen much further with the rainfall on the way. So over the next 5 days, a few sunny days with mild days and cool nights. Then we see the temperatures level out a little bit down into the upper 60s, the coolest daytime highs so far this season, with an orange level impact for that heavy rain amount on Friday, extending the forecast there to follow. We continue to see more active weather into early next week with another cold front, a quick shot of a few showers and storms, and then a gradual cool down into the middle of the next week, and the temperatures will be in the 60s as we head closer to that Halloween holiday. We'll have another update on the rainfall timeline as we bring you back the news tonight at 9.
Now, Fox 23 Sports, driven by Jim Norton's T-Town Chevy.
Just a few months ago, the Oklahoma City Thunder took the NBA by storm, capping off a historic 84-win season with an NBA title, the first in franchise history. Now, as hard as it is to believe, the Thunder are back. Tomorrow, they'll kick off the regular season against Houston. And there's a lot of hype headed into this one. A ring ceremony will get things started. The Paycom Center expected to be packed, but head coach Mark Dagnall says the mission hasn't changed. Block out the noise and start the season 1-0. The Rockets are a physical team and a serious Western Conference contender, so this young Thunder squad will be tested right away.
You know, it's a great thing for everybody, for the fans and everything, but it is a distraction. You got to compartmentalize your distractions and be ready to compete when the ball goes up in the air, and there's always distractions every game. But I don't overcook that. You know, I just see how the guys are doing, and we'll see how we play.
I'm super excited. Don't know completely what to expect, obviously, but yeah, it should be very fun. The challenge is going to be reeling all the emotions and the joy and the excitement, reeling it all in to be able to get the job done and start the season off the right way. But I think this group is well equipped to do so.
And also in the house, a familiar face. Kevin Durant will be back at the Paycom Center watching his former team receive their championship rings. But this time he'll be wearing a Houston jersey. Durant just signed a 2-year, $90 million contract extension with the Rockets, only months after being traded from the Suns, adding another layer to a must-watch season opener. And over on the gridiron, the stage is set for Monday Night Football. It'll be a showdown in Motown as the Bucs look to extend their lead in the NFC South, taking on the Detroit Lions. All eyes are on former Oklahoma Sooner Baker Mayfield, who's been on fire with Tampa Bay. The MVP chatter is growing. He's led the Bucs to 3 comeback wins with 12 touchdowns and just 1 pick. But Tampa Bay will be tested. Jared Goff and the Lions are looking to bounce back after a tough loss to the Chiefs. Also tonight, the Texans take on the Seahawks at 9.
All right, thank you, Kelly. And of course, tonight we also have Game 7 of the NLCS over on Fox 23. Thanks for joining us online for this special edition of Fox 23 News at 6.
Fox 23 News at 9 will also be online. Then we'll be back on air with Fox 23 News at 10 or once the National League Championship game is over. Have a great night.